And Jason, what started as a Silicon Valley trend has definitely spread across the country. What are you seeing right now?
I'm seeing layoffs. I'm seeing the impact that this is especially having on white collar workers has been tremendous. You see the fact that job ads are way down for white collar workers. But on the other side, you see companies that are basically hoarding blue collar workers because they're wondering if there's going to be a surge in the economy. And if there is, how are we going to be prepared for it? I think what we're seeing overall is a basic market recalibration where employers are saying we hired a bunch of people during COVID. We're laying people off. Now we're trying to see what's going to happen in the event there's a recession.
What does that mean from the overall wage inflation perspective? Is this a situation where it's terrible news if you're the one who gets laid off? Does this mean that the Fed is going to be getting towards its goal of tamping down inflation?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Fed's definitely trying to meet their goal in terms of inflation. And I think it also means from the perspective of the employees who are being laid off or the employees who are scared about being laid off is the fact that it's coming. As tech sector goes, so goes the rest of the markets. And when tech starts laying off, when banks starts laying off, you're going to start to see that ripple effect in other industries.
The difference between the white collar and the blue collar workers is pretty interesting. You think that trend
Absolutely.
will continue, that this is a situation where white collar workers were hired in bigger numbers, they were looking for more growth, but when the growth goes away, that's when those jobs go away too?
Definitely. White collar workers were hired in bulk. But at the same time, when you compare a white collar worker to a blue collar worker, you're really talking about salaries, you're talking about bonuses, benefits, and those kinds of things. From the perspective of employers, look, COVID taught employers a lot, just as it taught employees a lot in terms of what they can get from the market. And it also taught employers in terms of what they can get from the employees. And from the basic standpoint of a CEO or executive, will literally say, if I have 5 white collar employees and I'm paying them X amount of money, but I realize I can get the same amount of work from 3 as opposed to 5. Let's go ahead and downsize those 2. Let's go ahead and reallocate that to possibly hiring more employees, getting more resources for our departments, whatever the case might be. So I think what we unfortunately see for white collar employees is that for the first time in a long time, they find that they are actually targets of a layoff, and it looks like it's not going to stop.
Blue collar workers, do they still have a little bit of oomph when it comes to the negotiation table? Can they get more benefits? Can they get higher wages as a result of these companies making sure that they keep them around?
Absolutely. They can get a little bit of a bump. Listen, we're not talking about, $30,000, $50,000 bump. We're talking about incremental changes, incremental monies from the standpoint that employers understand that if there's a boon in the economy, we need those employees in order to be able to fulfill the orders. I think on the other side of the fact is that there's not as many people returning to the labor market as we saw pre-COVID. In that case, we need these blue-collar employees so that they can continue to drive our industry.
Jason, what does this mean, just the broader trend of this work from home, the flexibility that white-collar workers have been, if that's where the layoffs are focused? Just this week, you had Bob Iger of Disney saying he wants his employees in the office at least 4 days a week. And some people looked at that and said, well, that's pretty strict. If this is a situation where that's where the job cuts are going to be, is this a situation where 5 days a week is going to be the norm?
Absolutely. Listen, here's what I tell people. Whether you're remote, whether you're hybrid, the fact of the matter is that the market is moving back to how it was pre-COVID. When you have Bob Iger who comes out and says that we want to move to 4 days a week, part of the reason why he's doing that, there's a psychological play because he understands that 4 days sounds a heck of a lot better than 5 days. But 4 days is basically let's put our foot in the water. Let's feel how the water goes. Let's get people used to coming back, working through traffic, getting their latte from Starbucks as they go into the office. And then 6 months from now, a year from now, you're going to see it go back to 5 days. Where the mouse goes, that's where the rest of the market goes.